Okay, guys. So today the topic that Monty and me and all the other people have taken, that we have to discuss about: is it possible practically that we can have a borderless countries, or maybe a one single country in just one single word? Okay, so a few point I want to keep from my side first. Okay, and what is that? Uh, we can see the same thing in our village, in our home, in our houses, even in our cities, right? I mean, there we can see there is also a border, and sometimes it is important, sometimes not. Why it is important? Just because if we are sometime in a border, so it is easy to organize all the things. Otherwise, everything will be gone in a mesh up, right? Like now we have a state, we have countries. So every state, every countries, we have borders, right? But that doesn't mean we are different from that people, or those countries. We know we can meet to each other, but yeah, there are some restrictions. So according to me, definitely it is good. uh, it is good just because it helps our central government or government or states just to organize all the things, and it is good for the people, right? And that is a good part, that we have right, that we can go wherever we want to go if we have a qualification according to that. I mean, whatever they want, right? So according to me, it is definitely good, and we can see in our places. But just because of border, we don't have to keep in our mind that people are different. That is totally up to us, right? Like, I don't care about other countries. I just feel same about every people, no matter they are from different countries or our countries. That is good, that to love our nation like the home, the house, that we also love our house more than any other houses, right? But it's not mean that we hate other houses or we don't love those people. So I think this is the same in terms of the borders and criteria. And we all know it is very very required, it is very very important for the countries, that we can see also most of the time there are clashes between China and India, just on the, and also Pakistan, we can see in the name of borders. And the reason is also there, we know, we all people know, uh, that can be harmful for the citizens. So that's why it's good from my end point. Now anyone can, like Monty, whatever you want to speak, you guys can speak. And yeah, definitely, if anyone wants to keep their perspective through geographical or maybe through GK like that, you all guys are free to speak. Yeah, go ahead.
So, good evening, everyone. So, in my point of view, if I would like to say about the borderless world, so I think nowadays it is impossible because when it comes about like if I'm talking about the India, so India is covering with this different states like countries, Pakistan, China, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. So it is very impossible nowadays. I mean, in this time, if we are doing this, because these are the countries that the India have. I mean, these are the enemies countries that India have, and also if we have the friendly countries near India, so definitely we open our borders and we don't have. I mean, our economic rise faster because we don't have to pay on the borders because there is a lot of infrastructure that were going on the borders and India is I mean, contributing and making some of the lines and boundaries and many escalation doing on the borders. And recently, there are the in the news we had already listened about the China because I mean the army that is in the clash that would happen with the China. So we can't afford nowadays this thing gonna be happen. But if we talk about the globalization part, so I mean the country should be happy because we get the rights to visit any country without any visa and even we have the rights to live in any country, but when it comes about the borderless society, so nowadays it is impossible because what happened is that the poor people, I mean the poor countries that were coming inside our borders and they living here and even they get the rights of our citizenship, even they can do anything and it is quite impossible to do. And all the rights that our government give to us, so they must be cancel their rights, either they have to given to them also. But like Dhruv had mentioned that all the peoples are equal and we in this world from the starting we categorize from different religions, different castes. So it is very difficult to live in this society if we have the kind of mindset that this person is from the different background. So we have the kind of behavior like that only. So if we have the, I mean, good mindset that we all people are equal and we can't judge the people by their religion, so definitely we're gonna be live with the borderless world. The main thing is that only. And in the from the starting, also one thing also comes in my mind, that we are patriotic. Many times it happens, if any clash gonna be happen in a country, so this thing will become. So if any friendly country person will come, so definitely we have a good bond with them. But any enemy country person is there, so they might be have the kind of I mean, we feel that this is from any hostile, this is a hostile. So if that thing never gonna be happen, so we can say that we can live in a very, I mean, global world. Yeah, that.
Okay, all right. Sunil?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
all right, Dhruv. So, everybody, good evening. And yeah, we are talking here about the borderless society or borderless world, we can say. It would be not exaggeration. And first of all, I want to say that it would be a foolish idea if we think like this, that we are imagining a borderless world. So I think it would be mass. We will, mass everything, and it would be hard for executive or administration or like legislative, everyone. It would be hard to handle things and crowd as well, and the economic activities and other activities, and the security uh, will be on stock if we mass everything, and if we remove all the boundaries that is across the globe. So I think that's not gonna good idea. And if it would be a good idea, then I think we already had a world, only single world. We would not have created such countries like more than 200, because we know that it's really hard to keep everyone in harmony, because everyone have a different mindset or religion. They follow different ideology. And why not we take example of our home on our own family. Because it's just you can say it's just a metaphorically we can take example of our home, that we are like joint family. And earlier in the ancient time, we were living in joint families. But if you see right scenario, then it completely changed. We are separated. We are living in a sort families, because
Yeah.
there's a problem of harmony. There's a problem of matching each another's thoughts and ideology, and they follow different politics, different group, different religion, different leader. So that create a lot of problems. And I think it's not mandatory to mention such things. We all are aware. So yeah, I would say it's a good thing, having countries more than 200. I think it's a good thing in the world. And if you take example of our India, before the partition, we were joint country like Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India and Nepal. So we were in extra trouble. We were that time in extra trouble, and we were doing not so good thing. But if you see, then right now I think we are in a good shape, and we are doing good. And we are pursuing like prosperity, or economically we are day by day growing. So I
Mm.
think it's good thing, having boundaries. And yeah, that's the thing I want to say. I have not much words, and I think we have a lot of panelists. So yeah, further I will add some points. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Sanjay?
Yeah. Today's topic is borderless countries. Yeah, it can possible, but in Asia particularly, it looks like impossible because of the some hostile countries. Like if I talk about my country, India has two hostile countries. We all know that, Pakistan and China. So if China day by day try to encourage, encroach the land, so how can it be possible without borders? So that's why we are seeing that 5 months ago in Ladakh, a little conflict, and we lost 20 soldiers, and China also lost some soldiers they never claimed. So like that. But if we look on the European countries, there are so many countries with a borderless, but they are they are divided by some area, that this part portions of America, and this portion is belongs to Canada. So there is a no particular border, I can say, but they are at that point they don't have any fighting against to each other. So it's totally depend on the country's you know mindset actually. If like we have a neighbors like China and Pakistan, if they all the day they're just trying to encroaching your land, then it will not possible to without borderless. So no countries, I think, never wants to lose any parts of his countries. So in that point of view, maintaining cost is also very very high to maintain a very good border security. So in that point of view, border is like costly. It's we have to spend some amount on the border security to protect our land. If we don't have any border, if don't have any border classes, then we can spend the money in our education system, in our economic growth. So in that point of view, if there is a no border in the countries, then I think it will be good for economic growth. Otherwise, yeah, border is also necessary in the world, because day by day every country are getting powerful. Every country day by day getting nuclear power. So they try to encroach other countries land. In that point of view, border is important. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Sanjay. Kajol.
Yeah, good evening, all. I think already most of the people mentioned their point regarding border. So I think, as we all know that it is a like as Sunil mentioned, that it is a foolish talk when we say that we can live in a borderless country or borderless world, because in family also we can't uh, when if you talk about the past 10 years or 20 years back, if we have the joint family, then we just conflict between most of the decision. So that's why we used to just separate our family too. So it is only because when we want the borderless country. So I think there was a restriction, like the people's opinion, the people religions. So at that time, uh, nowadays if we see in India, we have 130 crore approx people. And the India is also divided in different part, like state, city, and villages. And we have also seen that in village there is a mukhia, in city there is a CM. So every level there is a guardian who just guided us, either through a government or in family we have a guardian like father or mother. So I think everything is divided. It is only because if we can't divide all those things, then all the things become crash. So all the thing become unbalanced. So I think that is very requirement, that is very required to have the border to have not borderless country, because it is very important to have the border in different parts of country, because it is needed uh, in different specs. Like most of the people have different religion, so most of the people accept different kind of things. Most of the people live in like they have a different thinking, they have a different mentality. So we want the other type of government for us. So I think there's a lots of reason we must say that uh, we can't just tell it is easy to live in a borderless country. It is not possible. And yeah, if I talk about the best part, that if maybe it happens, so I think the best part is that we don't need visa or anything to move outside the country. So that is only, I've seen, I can see only one good part about this. But I think it is also not right, because if we didn't check any visa or anything, so most of the terrorists may be attacked in some other parts of the the country or state. So that also cause a large disaster, I think. So
Mhm.
that is really important to have all those kind of thing, and to have a border in every country, in every state. That is really required, because if we don't have the border, so we can't check, we can't just like if you talk about the UP and Bihar, so there must be some checking. So I think it is very required, because maybe some disaster will happen. So for the future, for the good future, or for the development purpose, I think it is needed. So yeah, that's my point. Over to you, Dhruv.
Yeah, yeah, okay, all right. Amit?
Yeah, very warm good evening to all. Yeah, as the topic mentioned on group, the borderless country, it's good or not. So, like, what's my opinion for that? Yeah, it is. We have a borderless. We have borderless country is borderless. All countries not possible because in this in only in that in these times of era because you know all guys are like uh, the peoples are living in the in this era. They are not thinking like just ki I'm only we are only the person to living as a unity. The peoples are thinking like uh, I am only the person which is I'm the only person which is good for in my area. So this thinking person are like to make first border, and also the you all guys have mentioned like the difficulty to face the government policies and all others. If for if if we have not means borderless country, so it is difficult to decide the first to map. I think map how we will decide in map ki India is only in that part and what Pakistan and China. So it is difficult to decide, and also if not means borderless, so also our employment also decreasing because of some we don't need like army or some security force. So, and just because of also our employment power is every country employment power is decreasing, and so just border in this means nowadays we cannot say like the border uh, without border we are living in this era. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I think we all are agree about it, and we know the importance of it. That's why I think we are agree that why it is important, right? I mean, mostly the main reason. So, okay, guys.